Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought it'd be really fun to sit down and do a video doing a full face of makeup that I made you guys buy. So I don't know about you, but I am mostly influenced by YouTube as far as my purchasing decisions go. Whether I discover a product from a video or I look up a product I'm interested in and watch a review on it and then make my decision after that. So I thought it'd be kind of fun, and I've seen a couple of you request that I do this video, but I was just curious, and I feel like it'd be kind of fun to see the products that I have influenced you guys to buy, because ultimately that's what, YouTube is. That's what social media is, I feel like. I think it'll be really interesting for me to see what's influenced you guys the most as far as things that I've talked about or things that I personally enjoy in my day-to-day life. So I asked you guys on Instagram to kind of submit the things that you have purchased because of me. So this is going to be really fun. I'm going to do a full face using all these products. I have so many responses already. So we're just going to kind of go category by category, and I'm going to be selecting products randomly as we go through each category. So I hope you guys are excited. As you guys know, I've recently been really trying to do more videos about like reaching back into the makeup that we already have, because there is just so much out there now. It's hard to keep up. So I think this will be a really fun way to kind of dive into some of my personal old favorites, and it's also going to be cool to see the things that you guys are loving because of what I talked about. So I'm gonna go ahead and scroll through these. I was trying to find a brow pencil. Ooh, okay, perfect. I have one. Okay, Jalen said the Ultra Slim Brow Pencil, which is from Maybelline. I honestly love that brow pencil. I might actually have it right here. Okay, I actually don't. I'm gonna go find it in my brow drawer. I hope it's in my brow drawer. So this video is going to kind of be going randomly because I don't have all the products picked out, so bear with me as I search for some of these things. I found it, thank heavens. Okay, so this is the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim Pencil. This is in the shade medium brown, and I still love this pencil. It became my favorite from the drugstore very quickly. There is now one other brow pencil that is competing with this one. I also love the CoverGirl one, but the new Milani brow pencil is pretty good, so that one has also become an immediate favorite of mine. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in the brows with this pencil. Okay, brows are on, and I already feel much better. All right, let's go ahead and look for I'm trying to figure out if I want to do eyes first or complexion first. I'm probably gonna do complexion first. So let's look for a primer. Oh, I have one. Okay, so Puffier Chelsea, I hope I'm saying your username right. She said the Angel Veil Primer, and I've never looked back. Amazing. So the Angel Veil Primer is from NYX. It is an incredible primer. I'm gonna go grab it really quick. It's kind of fun that a lot of these submissions are drugstore, because, I don't know, that makes me happy because I do a lot of drugstore videos, so I'm glad that you guys have been trying some of my recommendations from the drugstore, so I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the NYX Angel Veil Primer. This is actually like a little bit more of an expensive primer if you compare the price to other drugstore primers, but I feel like it's more pricey for a good reason. It's just a really, really luxurious feeling formula. I'm going to go ahead and kind of get a little bit of that on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to apply this all over the skin. I'm just going to use my fingers to apply it, and I'm going to kind of focus that in the T-zone. This primer seriously looks so good under every foundation that I've ever tried it with. I love it. All right, let's look for a foundation. I've already seen a couple of foundations as I've been scrolling through the responses, and a lot of you guys are saying that you picked up the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation because of me, which it's like one of my favorite drugstore foundations, and I'm so confused right now because so many of you guys are saying that it's going to be discontinued. I reached out to the Physicians Formula team via Instagram DMs and asked them if it was, and they said that it was not. It was just going to be moved from stores, but then I went on their website and it's all out of stock, so I don't really know what's going on with that foundation, but it seems like so many of you guys picked it up because of my recommendation, and I really hope that it's not permanently discontinued. I'm hoping that they're just pulling it temporarily, maybe to tweak the formula or the packaging a little bit. I don't know. I need that formula in my life. I don't think I'll be using that foundation, even though so many of you guys suggested it in this, just because I don't know what the status is of it. Let's find another foundation. Oh, I see one. Okay. I'm just kind of scrolling down, and whatever foundation pops up first I'm going to use. So Kaylee Rose said the Believe Beauty Foundation. that makes me really happy because it is still a foundation that I stand behind 100%. It's the craziest thing. Like, it is the most affordable luxury feeling foundation I've ever tried. So if you guys don't know what the Billie Beauty foundation is, it's from the dollar store. It's from Dollar General, and I tried their entire range when they first launched their brand, and I honestly was not expecting to love the foundation as much as I do. I still use it all the time. I still recommend it to family and friends. It's like one of my favorites. So I'm gonna go grab that really quickly. All right, here's the foundation. This is the Believe Beauty Skin Finish Foundation. My perfect shade is nude, and one pump covers my entire face perfectly. So I've got one pump on the back of my hand. I'm just gonna go ahead and spread that out with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. And I'm gonna start applying the most coverage on the cheek area because that's where I have the most discoloration. And kind of blend that out all over the skin. I don't know what kind of magic is in this formula, but it lasts so beautifully on my skin, you guys. It has the most beautiful finish. It wears like all day on me. It doesn't separate on me at all. I don't know. It's crazy. All right, so foundation is on. Let's go ahead and see if we can find a concealer next. Oh, I just saw another person say the Angel Veil Primer. 2 other people and another Believe Beauty foundation. Oh, okay. I found a concealer. Dranskap. I'm sorry if I pronounced your username wrong. But they said that they bought the Bare Minerals concealer because of me. I'm assuming that's the Bare Minerals Serum Concealer. I've talked about a couple on my channel. I've talked about the Bare Pro Concealer as well. But I have most consistently talked about the Bare Minerals Serum Concealer. It's a beautiful concealer for every day. All right, here we go. Here's the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. I use the shade Fair. Probably need to pick up a new bottle of this soon. But it's just such a good, like, everyday concealer in my opinion. This shade specifically works really well for me on both blemishes and under the eyes. You guys know I usually try to pick up 2 shades or so of concealer depending on the formula, I guess. But I usually try to pick up 2 shades, one for brightening the center of the face and under the eyes, and then one that matches my blemishes just in case I need to conceal. This is kind of like my one and done shade when it comes to being able to do both. So that's why I'm using it for both. I'm going to take this Milk Makeup concealer brush, and I'm going to use this to blend out that concealer around the blemishes and also around the sides of my nose. This is actually a nice brush. I haven't used this yet. Okay, I feel like I kind of distributed that pretty well with the brush. Now I'm just taking my sponge and pressing that in even more. Okay, next I'm looking for either a powder or a bronzer. I'm just gonna keep scrolling down. It's actually really, really fun to like reminisce on some of these products, and it makes me want to reach for them again. Like I'm seeing some other foundations that I haven't used in a while that I really want to use again. Like the NYX Bear With Me tint, also the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Skin tint. A lot of you guys are saying that you picked up. I love both of those still. All right, let's see if we can find a powder. So Rachel Freeman said the Thrive powder. I love that powder so much, you guys. It's one of my favorites ever. And then the Makeup Forever HD Matte Powder Foundation. You guys, that powder lives in my purse. I actually have the Thrive powder sitting right here on my desk. I took off the top sifter because I'm almost out. This is like my 3rd container of this. I need to buy more. All right, so I'm going to take this powder on a Milk Makeup highlighting brush. This is the Milk Makeup and Sephora collaboration. And even though it says it's a highlighting brush, I feel like it will be perfect to set the under eye area with. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that all over the T-zone and underneath the eyes. All right, here's my Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder. It's Allie Fowler said that she picked this up because of me. This is an incredible multi-purpose type of powder foundation. You can use the little applicator and swipe it all over the face if you're running out the door. But what I tend to usually use it most for nowadays is a touch-up powder in my purse, which is why I had to go grab it in my purse. But I also love to use it just over the top of areas where it's hard for me to cover. Like if I've used foundation and concealer and I've set it with a translucent powder and there's still something showing through, this has saved the day time and time again. I'm just going to take that same powder brush and just kind of buff it over the areas that I need a bit more coverage. And it like smooths everything over. It solves all of my problems and it erases all of my imperfections. It's the best. I love it so much. I'm just going to kind of put a little bit on the center of the forehead to blur a little bit as well. Let's look for a bronzer. I'm seeing a lot of people say Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer as I'm scrolling through. I'm just going to keep scrolling where I left off and see which bronzer pops up next. Okay, so right next to each other, I see Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer as well. So, I feel like I've used the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer so many times in these videos. So I'm going to go with Megan Gamber's submission, which was the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer, which is still a personal favorite of mine. Here's what this looks like. I have the shade Sunlight, and I'm just going to take that on an angled brush, and I'm just going to start to press that onto the cheeks a little bit to start to warm that up, and then onto the forehead, a little bit on the sides of the nose, underneath the nose, under the lip, along the jawline, and as always, down the neck. Every time I put this bronzer on, I fall in love with it all over again. It's just the best. Like, it's such a good tone. I'm obsessed with it. The formula always blends so easily on my skin. I'm just in love with this formula so much. Okay, let's look for blush or highlighter, and then actually, okay, I'm trying to decide if I should go for an eyeshadow next. I'm feeling like maybe we should do that. A lot of people submitted like hair care and skincare as well, which is really fun to see. Oh my gosh, I just saw two people right next to each other, Casey B and Amanda Ashley, both said the Clinique Uplight Illuminating Powder. So I love that powder so much. That's like a finishing powder, but it can also double as a highlighter. So I feel like I'm going to use that maybe on the sides of the face as a little bit of an all-over glow. I know I'm going to use it after bronzer, but that's fine. Honestly, you guys, that product, it's a hidden gem in my book. Like, I really feel like more people should know about it and should talk about it because it's such a good multitasking product. Okay, I found my Clinique powder. This is it right here. It's very well loved. Again, this is the Clinique Uplighting Illuminating Powder, and I have the shade 01 Nude Glow. I'm just going to take my powder brush and get a little bit of this on the brush, and I'm just going to apply it all over the skin actually. I'm just going to use it to kind of blend out the bronzer a little bit and just to add a bit of a glow to the skin. I feel like it really does make a difference in the overall appearance of your complexion. All right, let's find a blush. Ooh, I found one. Okay. Rissa Marie 214 said the Flower Beauty blush in Sweet Pea. I love it. It's such a beautifully natural blush. I agree. I love that one too. Alrighty, folks, here we go. This is the Flower Beauty blush in the shade Sweet Pea. It's just a really pretty kind of mauve-y color. I'm just going to smile and apply that to the apples of the cheeks. It's such a pretty color. I love it. Let's do highlighter and then we'll move on to eyes. Let me see if I can find a good highlighter around here. Okay, I found one that's technically a powder, but I love using it as a highlighter. Kirsten George, I hope I said your name correctly one of those times. She said the Jaclyn Hill Mood Light Powder. Honestly, you guys, that's been one of my favorites right now. So I'm going to use that as a highlighter today. It's kind of similar as far as the function of the Clinique powder, because you can use both of these products, this one and the Jaclyn one, as an all-over powder, or you can build it up as a highlighter. So I love traveling with products like that. It just kind of cuts my products down to have some that are a little bit multitasking like that. So I used two shades in the Jaclyn powder. I'm going to use the shade Do Me today. It's more of the like true golden champagne color. I also use the shade Brighten Up, which has a bit of a peachy tone to it, which I like to use on more of like a soft skin day, but I kind of want to amp it up a little bit with this today. So I'm going to use the slightly brighter color. I'm just going to take a bit of that powder on a highlight brush, and I'm just going to apply it to the sides of the face. I mean, look at that. It is so pretty, but it melts into the skin. It doesn't emphasize texture like some highlighters do on me. And you can really, really build it up, or you can keep it soft. It's super versatile that way, which is why I love these powders. I'm just going to take it down the center of the nose, on the cupid's bow, above the brow. And I like to take it on the apples of the cheek slightly too, because I feel like it blurs and just highlights that. Like, it just makes the skin look so dewy. Oh man, I love this powder. Oh no, I lost my spot on Instagram. Okay, I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. We're going to find an eyeshadow palette next. Okay, I just came across two. I'm going to have to decide between the two. So Ashley Ziegler said the ColourPop Going Coconuts eyeshadow palette. I really love that one. And then Alicia Trucon, I hope that I'm saying that right. She said that the Huda Beauty Nude Mini Palette. I love both of those eyeshadow palettes. I'm gonna grab them both, and then we'll decide which one to use. Oh my gosh, and somebody in between, Queen Peach 4, said the Kathleen So Jaded palette from ColourPop as well. Maybe I'll grab all three. We'll kind of open them and I'll see which one I feel like using. All right, so first we have this one right here, Going Coconuts from ColourPop. I do love this one. It's just a really good everyday neutral palette. You can amp it up for evening if you want to, but the mattes in here are like my favorite for everyday. Also the Huda Beauty Nude Light palette. This is also another everyday palette for me personally, because you guys know how much I love these types of tones. They are my favorite. So I do really get a lot of use out of this palette here. And then the Kathleen and ColourPop So Jaded palette. This has everything under the sun as well. You can really use this for an everyday look. You can use this for an evening look. I mean, anything, in all seasons too. It has basically every color you would ever need ever. So I'm trying to think of which one I haven't used in a while. Honestly, I feel like I haven't used the So Jaded palette in a long time, but I love all three of these. I'm just gonna start somewhere. We'll see where this takes us. Maybe I'll dip into a couple of these palettes. I don't really know. I'm gonna start off in the So Jaded palette, going into the shade Rose Quartz. Okay, wait, hang on. I found someone who said the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base is a must for me now, all thanks to you. So that was Nicole Story. I had scrolled past that before finding eyeshadow palettes, and I wanted to make sure that I found it to screenshot. So I use a couple shades. The shade Light is the one I use most, but it's actually packed in the makeup bag I traveled with. I went to LA last week for a Bare Minerals event, and then also for Disneyland again, which was very, very fun. I love Disneyland so much. I would literally live there if I could. In Disneyland, not LA. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that out with a brush. I love this eyeshadow base. I used to not care about eyeshadow bases. I tried several. They just didn't work that well for me until this one. And now I can't live without it. Back to the So Jaded palette again. I'm going to take the shade Rose Quartz. And I'm just going to start to buff this into the crease. I really love this shade because it's a great transition shade. And it kind of has a bit of a pinky undertone. But it's like a taupe at the end of the day too. It's like a good in-between color, which I really love. As a transition, you could also apply this all over the eyes and it would look beautiful as just a one and done shade on the eyelids, especially for every day. That would be so pretty. But I'm just going to continue to blend this out. I'm also going to take that same shade with that same brush and I'm going to buff that underneath the lower lash line. All right, next I'm going to take the shade You're a Gem, which is a beautiful peachy color. And I'm actually taking that on the same brush and I'm just going to press that onto the eyelid, just kind of as an all over lid color. I'm going to take that same shade with that same brush. I'm just going to pinch that and run it underneath the lower lash line as well. And then I'm just going to take what's left on the brush and kind of dust it a little higher over top of that Rose Quartz shade just to kind of blend the two together even further. And then same thing on the lower lash line with whatever's left on the brush. Just trying to make sure it's super diffused and blended. Next I'm going to take the shade Jasper, which is a beautiful kind of burgundy color. And I'm just going to start to build this up on the outer third, kind of close to the lash line. And then I'm just buffing it around this area here. Once there's less on the brush, I'm going to take it slightly into the crease just to define that a little bit more as well. But I'm keeping most of the definition on the very outer corner, close to the lash line. I'm going to do the same thing and take that same brush with the same color and just pinch that and go right underneath the lower lash line. Same kind of idea on the lower lash line. I'm keeping that deep color toward the outer third closer to the lashes. I don't know why, but I want to use this shade right here called Ametrine. I'm going to actually take that with my finger and it's a mauve color. And I'm wanting to just layer that up on the actual eyelid. This has a little bit of gold glitter in it, so I'm trying to just make sure to use my finger so that that glitter kind of stays on the lid. It's not going to be super intense, and there is a bit more of that matte base, but it's a really pretty shadow, and I felt like it would look kind of interesting and fun with some of those burgundy brown shades on the edge. All right, next I'm going to take the shade Fluorite on a bit of a smaller brush, and I'm going to apply this to the inner corner of the eye, as well as underneath the lower lash line right here. I'm going to brighten up the inner corner with something else in a minute, but I kind of wanted that lavendery base right here. All right, I'm going to dip into Diamond, which is the Super Shock Shadow shade. because I want even more glitter on the lid. So I'm just going to take that and press it right over top of ametrine. Okay, next I'm dipping into Moonstone, which also has a little bit of a duochrome shift to it, and I'm just going to brighten up the inner corner with this. Okay, I'm just taking the brush that I was using for like the peachy tones around the eye. I didn't add any extra product to it. I'm just kind of buffing that out. Okay, well, so much for using the other two palettes. I got carried away with the So Jaded palette, and I love how the look turned out. So let's find a mascara. Okay, I scrolled down just a little bit, and Miss Iliette said the Thrive Cosmetics mascara. I love that mascara so much. It has been one of the most reliable mascaras in my collection. There's just certain situations and certain occasions that require the Thrive Cosmetics mascara, and if you own it, I'm sure you know what I mean by that. Let me go ahead and grab that really quick. All right, so here's my Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions mascara. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to the top and bottom lashes. All right, so the mascara is on. All right, let's find lip products. Immediately, I'm seeing Shelby Ackley said the Milani Champagne Lip Gloss, so that's a recent thing. That's so fun because I'm honestly loving that still so much. It's another one of those things that I took with me on my trip, and I actually wore it to the event. So we've got a gloss. Let's see if I can find like a lipstick. Okay, so I just found a lip pencil. Thino H. Rihanna, I think that's how to say your username, said the NYX lip pencil in the shade Sandstorm, which I have right here, I believe. At least I did. Here it is. Yes. Okay, so I've got the lip liner. Let's find an actual lipstick. Okay, Cheeto Medina 18 said the Almay lipstick. I love the Almay lipsticks. So I'm going to go find one that I feel like will match this look and the lip liner, and I'll grab the gloss, and we've got a good little combo, I think. I've never tried the combo all together, but I'm pretty positive it will be really nice. So I'll be right back. I'm going to grab those things. Okay, first I'm going to wipe off any foundation that I got on the lips. Let's go ahead and line and fill my lips with the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner. Again, this is the shade Sandstorm. This color matches the eyeshadow perfectly. I love that so much. Okay, I grabbed my Almay Lip Vibes lipsticks. I'm kind of wanting to choose between one of these two. I think I'm going to choose this one. This is the shade Go Wild, and it's just a good, like, pinky nude. So I'm just going to apply a bit of this on top of that lip liner. And then I'm going to take my finger just to blend that in. Next, I'm going to take the Milani Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumper in the shade Champagne. It's the best. I love this shade so much. And the formula is so good on these, you guys. I'm just going to add that to the center. Well, kind of all over the lips, actually. But I'm kind of focusing on the center. You know what I love is how many of these things were drugstore. Like, it's been really fun to create an almost full drugstore makeup look based off of the things that I've recommended, which I think is awesome. Okay, I'm looking for a setting spray. Oop, just found one. Okay, Stephanie Neal 13 said the ColourPop Hydrating Mist. That makes me happy because I love that so much still. And let's find a brow gel. I've seen a couple, so I know it's in here somewhere. Okay, while I was looking for those, Sandy Hilly Goss said the Wet n Wild Eyebrow Highlighting Pencil for the waterline. I actually wanted to put that on with this look, but I didn't see anybody say it, so I didn't put it on. But now I'm gonna put it on. Even though it's like a little bit late, I'm still gonna wear that. So I'll grab that in a second. Let me find a brow gel. Oh, found one. Okay, Kalia Morgan said the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. A classic. I've been using that for years now. It is seriously still my tried and true ride or die brow gel. Okay, I'm gonna grab those three products. I'll be right back. Okay, so first we're going to use the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlighter. I'm just going to go ahead and really gently apply that to the waterline. I can't really do this like on camera very well, so I'm just going to apply it really quick. Okay, I love that. Let's step back and assess the situation before we set things. Taking my bronzer brush, just adding a little bit more. I already added a little more blush earlier, so I think we're good there. I'm going to take my ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Spray. And I'm just going to spritz the whole face. I'm going to take my sponge and just really lightly press over that just to make sure it has sunk into the skin properly. And then I'm going to take my Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter just to set the brows. This is definitely still my absolute favorite brow gel. All right, you guys, so this is the final look using products that you guys purchased based off of my recommendation. It was honestly really, really fun to go through all of those submissions and to see what you guys actually picked up. Because I can talk about makeup all day long and I can recommend products to you left and right, but it was really cool to see what you guys actually ended up going to buy and what you ended up enjoying for the most part. So this is the final look. I actually love how it turned out. That eyeshadow palette is so pretty. I love that Moonstone Super Shock shadow on the top. It's just, I don't know, I just really like it today and I feel like it all came together so beautifully. So thank you to everybody who submitted your submissions. I really appreciate it, and I always love doing videos where I can ask for your guys' help. It's seriously so fun for me to see what you guys pick up and what you use and what you love. So thank you to everybody who participated. If you didn't get a chance to submit on Instagram, I would love to know in the comments below if there's anything that you guys have picked up based off of my recommendation. I just think it's fascinating. It's really fun, and the more I see what you guys have purchased because of me, maybe the more I can kind of plan my future videos based off of the things that I know you guys are enjoying or that you love or that we all love together, because I think that's fun to kind of relate on a few things when it comes to makeup products that work well for us. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it from me today. I hope you guys have an incredible day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!